Hello guys, welcome to another video about English grammar. So today we're gonna cover a new topic. So let me remind you, if you like this kind of video, please let me your like. So let's start it. The topic that we're gonna cover today it's which pair goes with to an infinity pairs. Like for example, uh, offer, plan, manage, desire, agree, arrange, fail, afford, refuse, hope, promise, learn, design, forget, threaten, and tame. So, uh, after this verb, you can use to plus infinity. Infinity means to the verb in the base form, right? For example, let's take a first example. It was a long way to walk, so we decided to take a taxi home. So check it out. Let's analyze this first sentence. So after the verb decide, we use in infinitive form like to take, right? Remember, this list of verbs we can use with infinity. Okay. And next one. Simon was a difficult situation, so I agreed to help him. Simon was in a difficult situation, so I agreed to help him. Right? Check it out. Agree plus an infinity way, infinity form. Right? So I like to clarify that doesn't matter the tense of the verbs. Maybe the tense of the verb could be uh, in the past, in present, maybe in the future, maybe you are using like perfect for or something like that. Doesn't matter. Basically, you can follow with the to infinity. Uh, so, next question, next sentence. I waved to Karen, but failed to attract her attention. I waved to Karen, but failed to attract her attention. Right? Check it out. Fail plus to an infinity, right? I like them, but I think he tends to talk too much. I like them, but I think he tends to talk too much, right? So go easy then. So, uh, how old were you when you learned to drive? How old were you when you learned to drive, right? Or how old were you when you learned how to drive? Right? This is another way to use how. So we can use the double question in this way as well. So let's check it out in the next section. Okay. So let's move on the next part. The negative way is not to, not to. Like we decided not to go out because of the weather. We decided not to go out because of the weather, right? I promise not to be late. I promise not to be late, right? Remember, in the infinitive form, we always put uh, not before to the infinitive way, like not to. Not to is like always you have to follow this structure. The next one, after some verbs, we use ing, not to. For example, enjoy, think, suggest. For example, I enjoy reading. I enjoy reading, not I enjoy to read, right? This is the correct way. Andy suggested meeting for coffee. Andy suggested meeting for coffee, not suggested to meet. Are you thinking of buying a car? Are you thinking of buying a car? Not thinking to buy. Okay, so I'm gonna put in a car in order that you can check another video, because I already made a video about talking about to the which verb we can use with the adjective with a ing form. So I'm gonna put in the comments and a card as well. So uh, the next part, okay. After there you can use the infinitive with or without to. For example, I didn't dare tell him. I didn't dare to tell him, or I didn't dare tell him. So it doesn't matter if you use to after there, the meaning is the same. Okay. But after they're not or aren't, we do not use to. So keep an eye. Keep your mind this part. I think is important. It's like a section of in English, because most of the sorry, most part of the gerunds or ing we have to memorize. So you have to be careful with this part more in that section, like a there and aren't. Okay, so I didn't tell him what happened. I didn't tell him what happened. No, I didn't to tell him. Okay. Uh, Next one. We also use to after sing, appears, pretend, and claim. For example, they seem to have plenty of money. They seem to have plenty of money. And pretended, yeah, and pretended not to see me when she passed me in the street. And pretended not to see me when she passed me in the street. Okay, so after seeing appears, pretends, and claim, we always have to use to. Okay. Next example, you can also use to be, ing, continuous infinity, or to have done and perfect infinity. Like, I pretended to be reading the newspaper. It's the same way that I say, I pretended that I was reading. I pretended to be reading the newspaper is the same way to say I pretended that I was reading. Have you seen my keys? I seem to have lost them. Have you seen my keys? I seem to have lost them. Right? It's exactly meaning that I say it seems that I have lost them. It seems that I have lost them. Next one. She claimed not to have seen me. She claimed not to have seen me. It's the same meaning that I say she claimed that she hadn't seen me. She claimed that she hadn't seen me. Next part. So after this verb, you can use a question word like what, how, and etc. Plus to. After the verbs ask, know, decide, remember, forget, learn, explain, understand, and wonder, you can use the double question. A question word like what, how, where, uh, which as well, like this. For example, we ask how to get to a station. We ask how to get to a station. Another example, have you decided where to go on holiday? Have you decided where to go on holiday? I don't know where to apply for the job or not. I don't know where to apply for the job or not. Do you understand what to do? Do you understand what to do? Right? Also, show, tell, ask, advise, teach, plus somebody, plus the question word like what, how, where to do something. This part is something interesting, okay? Even it's some more fancy way to say this part. For example, can somebody show me how to use this camera? Right? Can somebody show me how to use this camera? Or ask Jack, he'll tell you what to do. So let's analyze this part. So the first part is of the list of this verb, like a show, tell, ask, advise, and teach. In this case, show. Somebody could be a subject, could be a pronoun, something like that, like me. In this case, it's an object, right? So show me now, then follow a question word like how, what, where. This case is how. To use, right? To the infinitive form, like to use this camera, right? It's the same example in the next one. Ask Jack, he'll tell you what to do. So let's move on to the exercise part. First part, complete the sentence for this situation. First one, shall we get married? Shall we get married? Yes, let's. So they decide both, right, to get married. The next one, please help me. Okay, so she agreed to help him, right? Right now we are checking to the first part of the verb plus infinitive, like offer, plan, manage, serve, agree, arrange, fall, afford, refuse, hope, promise, learn, decide, forget, threaten, and tend. So, can you carry your bag for you? Can I carry your bags for you? No, thanks. I can manage. Basically, he offered to carry her bag. He offered to carry her bag, right? The next one. Let's meet at 8 o'clock. Let's meet at 8 o'clock. Okay, fine. So, both, they arrive to meet at 8 o'clock. They arrange, blah blah. They arrange to meet at 8 o'clock. Next, what's your name? What's your name? I'm not going to tell you. Basically, she refused to tell him her name. She refused to tell him her name. Or maybe she refused to give him her name. She refused to give him her name, right? Next one. Please don't tell anyone. Please don't tell anyone. I won't. I promise. I won't. I promise. So she promised not tell anyone. Or also you can say also she promised she wouldn't tell anyone. Let's remember. I'd like to remind you that you can use would in order to talk about to the future as well, right? In a future way. But it's more a hypothetical situation because you don't know exactly what's going to happen, right? It's more like a supposition, right? Like you don't know, maybe yes, maybe no, I don't know, nobody knows. It's that why you can use wouldn't in this case, would, for hypothetical situation or for talking about to the future as well. But you don't have the certainty it is gonna happen or not. That's why it's a hypothetical. So next one. Complete the sentences. Use a suitable verb. For example, don't forget to lock the door when you go out. Don't forget to lock the door when you go out. Right? Next one. There was a lot of traffic, but we managed to get to the airport in time. Let's remember, manage. Manage is the first lead that we check. So after manage, we use to get, right? We couldn't afford to live in London. It's too expensive. We couldn't afford to live in London. It's too expensive, right? Afford, it's part of the first list as well. Afford. This one. I can't play a musical instrument, but I like to learn to play the guitar. I can't play a musical instrument, but I like to learn to play the guitar, right? After learn, we can use an infinitive verb. But we can also use a question word. But it's like we use in this example. It doesn't sound natural. It's like I can play a musical instrument, but I like to learn how to play, right? But no sounds like so natural. Even this doesn't make sense. I don't know. The first the first sentence and the second doesn't make too much, right? So it's up to you. You can say as well because grammarly, you talk about your grammar, it's correct, right? Next one. I don't want Mark to know what happened. I decide not to tell him. I decided not to tell him, right? Decided. So decided is part of the first list as well. First list, blah blah blah. Decided. No, I'm lying. Yep, decided. So after this verb, you can use a question word, right? Decide. Yep. Uh, it's not obligatory. It's not mandatory to use a double word. It's up to you, right? It's optional. So I don't know. We were all afraid to speak. Nobody dared say anything. Also, nobody dared to say anything. Uh, Let me remind you. So after there, right, you can use to or not. It's optional. It's the same meaning if you use both of them. So next one. Put the verb into the current form. To or ing. So see the unit 53 for verb plus ing. So that's what I say. So I'm gonna put the link for my another video because I already covered this lesson. So if you wanna check, just follow the card. Okay. So when I'm tired, I enjoy watching TV. It's relaxing, right? Next one, the bears look. I've decided to look for another job. I need a change. I decided to look for another job. I need a change, right? Next one, move. Move. I'm not going anywhere. I refuse to move. I'm not going anywhere. I refuse to move, right? After refuse, it goes an infinity way. I'm not in a hurry. I don't mind waiting. I'm not in a hurry. I don't mind waiting. So, mind is one of there that always after mind goes an ing form and verb ing form. Okay. Finish. Tina ran in a marathon last week, but she failed to finish. Tina ran in a marathon last week, but she failed to finish. Right? Remember, fail is one of these verbs. Fail, fail. Yep, this one. I wish that dog. I wish that dog would stop barking. It's driving me crazy. I wish that a dog would stop barking. It's driving me crazy. Right? So after stop, always goes ing form. Right? In this case, barking. They didn't know I was listening to them. I pretended to be asleep. That's a good one. They didn't know I was listening to them. I pretended to be asleep. Right? After to pretending goes the infinitive verb. They were hungry, so I suggested having dinner early. We were hurry. We were hurry, so I suggested having dinner early. Right? Suggested. So it's another verb that always goes, not always, usually goes ing form. Hurry up! I don't want to risk missing the train. Hurry up! I don't want to risk missing the train. Right? After risk goes an ing form. David is very quiet. He tends not to say much. He tends not to say much. So tends, yep, tend, right? Next one. Make a new sentence using the verb in brackets. Make a new sentence using the verb in brackets. So like, I lost my keys. So I seem to have lost my keys. I seem to have lost my keys. Right? The next one. Tom is worried about something. Tom is worried about something. The verb is appears. So Tom appears to be worried about something. Tom appears to be worried about something. Right? Remember. Okay. Worried is a feeling. So the feeling always goes with the verb to be. So in that example, right? After appears goes an infinitive form, right? So what is the infinitive form of verb to be? It's the verb to be, right? So Tom appears infinitive form like to be and the feeling in this case worried, right? To be worried about something, right? Next one, you know a lot of people. The verb seems. You seem to know a lot of people. You seem to know a lot of people. My English is getting better. My English is getting better. So seems. My English seems to be getting better. It's the same example that the second one. That the second one like a word, right? That car has broken down. That car has broken down. So the verb is appear. That car appears to have broken down. That car appears to have broken down. Right? Scene. Rachel is enjoying her job. Right? Rachel seems to be enjoying her job. Rachel seems to be enjoying her job. They have solved the problem. They have solved the problem. Claim, right? let's check it out this part. So yeah, after we also use to after seeing, appears, pretends, and claim. Okay, so they claim to have solved the problem. They claim to have solved the problem, right? So in that case, we are using to the infinitive perfect, right? Because we're trying to express something that happened in the past, right? Next one. Complete each sentence using what, how, where, or whether, plus this verb, like do, get, go, put, write, and use. For example, do you know how to get the airport from here? Do you know how to get the airport from here? Right? The next one. Would you know what to do if there was a fire in the building? Would you know what to do if there was a fire in the building? Right? So after know, after verb like ask, know, decide, remember, forget, learn, explain, understand, and wonder, uh, could be go a question word, right? Could be followed by a question. A question word is up to you. It's like depends on the situation as well. In that case, would you know what to do if there was a fire in the building? And this is also a second conditional, right? Because we're talking about to the hypothetical situation. We're talking about to the imaginary situation, right? Next one. You'll never forget how to ride a bike once you've learned. You'll never forget how to ride a bike once you learn, right? The next one. I've been invited for a party, but I haven't decided where to go or not. I've been invited to the party. I've been invited to the party, but I haven't decided whether to go or not. My room is very untidy. I got so many things and I don't know where to put them. My room is very untidy. I got so many things and I don't know where to put them. Right? I have some clothes to wash. Can you show me how to use the washing machine? I have some clothes to wash. To wash. Can you show me how to use the washing machine? Right? So there is some additional exercise, but I'm gonna do another video because it's a long it could be a long video. So I'm gonna make another video trying to cover different topics. In this case, I'm gonna try to cover like a three lesson, like the lesson 53, that is a verb plus ing and verb plus the infinitive, and a second part as well. So I'm gonna try to make another video for only additional exercise. It's gonna be another section of these videos about to the English grammar. So if you like, just give me your like. So if you want to tell me anyone, maybe something that can apport something to my classes, just leave me on the comments, behind the comments. So I hope to see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.